Thomas, good to see you. Today we're walking through 3 ways the debt ceiling showdown could affect your finances. US debt recently hit a record high. I'm going to show you this, even though it gives me so much anxiety, $31 trillion. So now Congress will have to vote whether to raise the debt limit again, fueling fears of default, which could have enormous consequences on the economy and our finances. So let's talk through what's going on. First, what is the debt ceiling?
The debt ceiling is basically, it's a number that the government comes up with in regards to how much we could potentially spend to pay our debts. Okay. If you think about it, the US government, they have a source of revenue, which is taxation, right? We receive a certain amount of taxes in to pay our debts. If we can't get enough revenues from taxation, then we have to borrow. So that borrowing increases the amount of that we can actually take out, which is right now, it was in January, I believe this year, it was 31.5 trillion. That's the most that we wanted to actually pull out before we have to have a rediscussion about, increasing that limit. So it's the amount that you could possibly borrow to pay out our expenditures in the future.
So for context, the last time Congress had a close call was back in 2011 when the federal debt stood at $14 trillion.
Yeah.
Before defaulting, Congress did reach a deal, but not before the market dropped 14% in 4 weeks. So ahead of any volatility, should people consider leaving the market now?
So it depends again on where you're at in life. If you're relatively young, you can afford the volatility of the market, right? If you have a long time horizon, if you're looking at 15 to 20 years in the market, you can afford these things, right? Because we've had discussions before where we've seen the market decline substantially. And then if you took your money out, you would have missed the upswing of the market. So you would have missed the potential to gain all that back in some. So depending on where you're at, I wouldn't say that it's a good thing to leave the market. If you're later in life, then you might want to move your money somewhere that is potentially safe. And we've talked about annuities, life insurance, those different types of strategies to help you protect what you've actually earned. So depending on where you're at, close to retirement, yes, let's think about moving your money. If you're young, let's stay in the market and ride the wave.
Okay. Default, though, could push interest rates higher, drastically affecting the cost of borrowing. So what if I planned on making a big purchase this year?
Right. That depends, right? I'm totally, I can say this. I am definitely confident that we will come to some sort of resolution in regards to getting the debt ceiling raised. I mean, we always have. But if we weren't, if we weren't to get, this thing solved, then you need to think about, do you have enough cash reserves to buy something right now? Are you dependent on financing? And if so, I mean, interest rates right now, they're not low, but they could potentially go higher. So it might be cheaper for you to buy something now in the event that we default. But I am totally confident that won't happen.
You're right. Yeah. I mean, this conversation is predicated on us defaulting. And so I just want to talk it through because we hear these things and they sound scary. Chief among them, if we do default, then there are rumors that there could be cuts to the 90 billion monthly Social Security payments made to 65 million people. That's a big deal. And it sounds scary.
Yeah, I think, Aaron, I think there'll be war in the streets if that happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, if there was a default, then there will be an issue with Social Security payments. Actually, we don't know. I mean, we don't have a hierarchy in regards to what should be paid and what should not be paid in the event of a default. So we don't know. It could be Social Security. It could be potential government spending in regards to, defense. It could be multiple things. But yes, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm totally confident in the U.S. government that we're going to get something figured out.
All right. Well, I always value talking through the headlines with you, Thomas. Makes me feel a little bit better. But if somebody does have any concerns about this volatility or what might happen, what's the best way to reach you?
Yeah, they could definitely reach out to me on through my website at martinheritagegroupllc.com. They can shoot me an email at info@martinheritagegroupllc.com. They can also give me a ring, 651-503-6064. And then I'm on all social media platforms at Martin Heritage Group.
All right, Thomas, thank you.
Thank you.